Hey everybody, welcome back. Last time we got on the second day, Sunday, and it's raining outside, so we can't go outside. But we found a room, a secret room. We got into it, and it seems to be a child's room. Game calls the nursery, but same thing. So let's get into the game. Now, there's a puzzle here, and there are two ways you can do it. The short way and the long way. And the name is blacked out. What we need to do is find the name of the kid, the child. And Christopher E. Milton is a doctor that lives in the house. So let's make sure there's nothing else we can do with this. I can't remember if you have to like get the date off there or what. Oh man, the for some reason this text is stretched. Okay, I think that's just the. Let's see, I don't remember how to find the information. Let's close this drawer. There's nothing in here. That's it for. Of course, it's gonna be creepy. Huh. So for the most part, except for the creepy looking angel, I just want to make sure, because it's kind of a pain to get back to this room, so I definitely don't want to forget anything. Now, here is one way to figure out the child's name. This is how I figured it out each time. And I'll also show you the long way, but this is it. Okay, where is... Look, okay. You can probably figure out what the name is just by looking at this. So we need to remember this number. It's Robin, if you're wondering. So it's 5, because you do that. What you do is I'll find the in the drawer. I'll find a box that we need to open, and we had the passcode. And I forgot a pen. Crud, but oh well, I think I can try to remember. If not, I'll come back. R is 5. You use the numbers in the blocks. 56097 or 59097. Probably 56097. Yeah, 56097. I don't believe there's anything else in this room, so let's get back in the house. Or we're in the house, but you know what I mean. Let's see if I might have been last time I said that we couldn't use the key we found in the locked room in the attic until we could go outside, but I could be mistaken on that. It might be the key to the drawer in the study. 6097 56097. it's not, at least I'll have this to remember, the video to remember the code by. Okay, that's not the key that we need. No. So originally I was right, it's the it's key for something outside, I don't remember which one, but oh well. Can't find the key to there yet. And this may be another video where I get kind of stuck on, but I know one thing to do at least. And one thing that might be doable. The good thing is we are trapped within the house. There's not much that we can go on. So we're limited to a certain space, and no, we can't do anything outside, so I don't think this is going to work. I think I'm had to turn the wheel, but I still want to try it just in case. Nope. Well, I think of a few things. One, we're going to go upstairs, and Michael had the dream the first night about the mask. Oh, oops. I said something too quickly. But, he had the dream about the African room. And in it, the, that big chest, or the big, table, not table, but, I don't know, big display. Yeah, that's it. That has those hidden wheels. It was gone, it was moved, and there's a door behind it. So, we need to find that door. Unless I'm mistaken, the way we do that is or both wheels. Hold on. What happened? Damn it. Oh, I'm about to say. Of course, the lights don't work. Let's... Of course, that's the mask they were talking about in one of the books. I thought there was a way to... Let's get that right on the... Damn it. Don't want to work with them here. I know there is a way to... Oh yeah. My bad. Let's see how many things are here. Read this in a minute. July 3rd. My recent researches into the Dalmar have shed some light upon their terrible activities. I understand now that the lack of existing information about them was not only a cause of their small size and rarity, but also a reluctance, or rather superstitious attitude towards their nature. Even some of the most important historians of South Africa will refuse to mention their name, usually referring to them as the War Tribe. After Digging into some of the most obscure books I could find about the subject, I must admit now that reading them made me very nervous and uneasy, bringing back the memory of those horrible acts I witnessed that day. I can't understand why any human being, uncivilized or not, would behave in such a manner. War among savage tribes is of course a very common and recurring theme in history, but it's all war. They went even beyond war. Usually a tribe will engage in battle to conquer new territory or perhaps defeat an enemy. They did it for the sole reason of destruction and extreme love for violence. They're fucked up. The account of their actions is downright scary. They invade villages, slaughtering every inhabitant without regard for their sex or age. Men, women, children would inevitably perish by their fury and hate, which is, I think, the most unsettling element of their stories. They didn't use any weapons. They killed villagers with their bare hands and teeth as if they were drawing power from an unearthly source. I find it hard to believe this. If I hadn't seen them with my own eyes, I would say they were some kind of wild legend. Once they'd slaughtered every living thing in the village, they burnt it to the ground. Every single construction or possession of the fallen villagers proof they definitely were not interested in conquering or even taking some advantage of their terrain. Their motives were moved solely and purely by an incredible despisal of life and hatred towards anything that wasn't from their village. Human Daleks? That's like the only time the Dalek would be good, is to wipe out these people. That is another curious thing. They somehow managed to sustain a constant population level, as if they controlled exactly the amount of people needed for an attack, but at the same time wanted survival using their few existing resources. I fear this wasn't some kind of wondrous organization system, but rather an elimination process of a useless member of an unnecessary child. I dare not think about it, but I'm afraid this will explain why they didn't need to hunt for food. They feasted upon themselves. Now I know what the mask I took stands for, and I shiver at the thought of it. I must confess I'm worried. I don't know why, but I fear for my life. I don't like a lot of Doctor Who references, but just deal with it if you don't like it. June 4th, 1962. Well, I guess that's before Doctor Who started, but whatever. I think it started in 63. But anyway, dear Christopher, please excuse the tone of this letter. I know I must sound like a raving madman, but I truly can't find a proper way to put together all the thoughts that have been taking my sleep away these past few days. Of course, he's talking to Dr. Christopher Milton. There is a reason behind all those recent perversities. It's the mask, Christopher. It's the mask I told you about. I wouldn't believe in it myself if I hadn't studied its origins on my own, but it's really the source of all my suffering. The tribe it belonged to, I must confess I didn't take the mask by appropriate means, and I fear this might have unleashed some terrible wrath against my life and everything that surrounds me. It's been over a year ago since I witnessed the most outrageous acts of violence that not even in my worst nightmares could I have imagined, and the mouse was epicenter of it all. What I was thinking of when I took it was beyond me. It was probably a vicious trick of greed, but I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. Boom, boom. It represents evil, and I'm truly convinced this evil can somehow take shape and punish those who have disgraced it. I did, and now must face the consequences. It will take some more time to investigate this. I might even go back South Africa to seek help. Although something tells me not even returning the mask would do any good. The damage is already done. I believe it's getting worse as the days go by. Every time I walk past the gallery, I can hear some incessant odd chatter, as if something was being plotted inside. And their voices, Christopher. They seem to be angry. Please, help me. Come and see me as soon as you can. James. Of course, James of Blackwood. Always makes me think of Sherlock Holmes. The Robert Downey Jr. movie version, where the first bad guy's name was Lord Blackwood. I think we found everything we need to in there. Let's go. We know that we got the date from the birth certificate. Let's see if we can find anything in the newspapers about it. Wrong one. Sad news hits our beloved day following an announcement that was received with rejoicing amongst many. One of our most illustrious members of our community, Mr. James Blackwood, was having a child soon. We now have to wait a macabre turn of events. The son, that was being lovingly awaited by the Blackwood family, died shortly after delivery due to a strange ailment. Understandably, the information disclosed about this happening was a suspicion. Succint, I don't know that word. I haven't seen that word before, but I guess I'd look it up. It appears that Miss Catherine Blackwood was already suffering from pains in her stomach, probably an indication there was something not healthy about her pregnancy. Dr. Christopher Milton, who attended the birth, assured us that he made every possible effort to ensure a safe delivery, but with bowed head, he said that the boy was already doomed ever since his conception. The cause of death has not been stated, but those few close to the Blackwood family have said there were serious complications during the delivery. Helping to relieve the somber news that Miss Blackwood was thankfully found to be out of danger, her husband did not wish to comment about the event. And then there's just some added stuff to look more real. Extra stories. Have you figured out the what's going to happen yet? Anybody? I'm not going to say anything. But it don't say anything, you can figure it out. But unless you want to like private message me or something, just don't do it in the comments because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. See what time it is, and let's call Jerry. We haven't tried calling him all day. 4 p.m. We're already making great progress through the day. This dude goes to bed at 7 o'clock. Let's try and call Barbara. I didn't think it'd work.
Yes?
Jerry, it's me. You won't believe what I've found here.
Try me.
It's about the happenings that led to the murder you told me about. There's an impressive backstory surrounding this place and many loose ends. It would seem nobody ever stumbled upon this.
Shouldn't you be working on your book?
Are you listening to me? James Blackwood was into some very weird stuff, and possibly dangerous. Something tells me this case is much more complex than it was thought to be.
Why don't you inform the authorities? I'm sure they'll be dying to reopen a long-forgotten case about some crazy old psycho killing his wife.
No way. And miss all the fun? I'm doing this on my own. I wonder if those noises I heard have anything to do with this. Maybe James Blackwood was trying to hide something.
Yeah.
Like in that book, where an old man was guarding the entrance to hell. I bet this James Blackwood person had a doorway like that in his basement. Those dreadful noises must be the sounds of the damned coming for you.
Why, thanks, mate. That's been very helpful. Great to have friends like you.
Then stop talking about all this nonsense. Do you have any idea how crazy it sounds? You're a writer, not some fancy PI.
I'll get to the bottom of this. I know I will. I'm certain there's much more to James Blackwood than a simple act of murder.
Now you're sounding more morbid than usual. Simple act of murder? Oh goody. Just somebody died, nothing to worry about. This isn't like you, Michael. This whole thing is really affecting you.
Stop being a drama queen. I'm a grown-up and I'm pretty aware of what I'm doing.
Fine, go chase around the ghosts of James Blackwood. I'll stay here in the room.
I'll let you know about my progress.
I'm gonna try one more thing for you in this video. Let's see what time it is first. Ooh, an hour passed. I know at one point in the game you do have to do some writing, but I don't know if it's now or later. Yep. And we'll go down and tell you time and end this video. Suddenly she stopped and stood there paralyzed, hesitant to give any credit to what her eyes were seeing, and completely unaware of the potentially dangerous situation. Surprisingly, there wasn't anything unusual or strange about the event. Little Kathy was hastily crossing the living room towards the huge oak door, her fancy black dress fluttering at every footstep. As the girl reached the doorknob, she turned to look back at Marion and urged her with a whisper to hurry up. But Marion wasn't seeing Kathy. Her memories haunted her back and displaced reality, giving room to the nightmarish vision she has spent months trying to forget, ever since her first visit to the old house. In her dream, she saw a little girl, also wearing a black dress, emerging from a passageway hidden in the room. She never actually managed to glimpse where the passage was, only saw the girl running towards her, her small face contorted in a horrible grimace. Marion quickly realized it was a twisted version of the Kathy she would know later. She knew later. What? Maybe it is an O and it just looks weird. As if her figure was then distorted by a veil of smoke. Her exact movements through the room, reaching for the knob, facing her back, there were too many coincidences to ignore. It wasn't a nightmare that she experienced that day, nor a ghost, something she refused to believe in, but was now willing to blindly embrace as the truth, given the shocking vividness, of the vision. A ghost would come from the past. What she'd seen came from her thoughts were interrupted as a figure behind her cast a shadow across the doorstep. "You filthy liar, you betrayed me," groaned a deep voice. Yep. Let's go see what time it is. And we'll end at the clock. We're end at the clock. We're end at the clock. Tick. So, but see what I was saying earlier? I mean, the last conversation we had with Jerry was somewhat sinister, so that droning ticking actually really works. So 6, another hour has passed. Next time we'll continue off from there.